And Jam TV show 176. Here we go. I'm going to wear my glasses. I'm going to wear them. I'm like so vain. I come on the show and I have no glasses on, and I'm like, I can't see. Oh, somebody's echoing, Dave.
Somebody's echoing.
It's you, Dave.
It's you, Dave. Maybe not. There you go.
It me?
That's better. That's awesome. How you guys doing?
Good. How are you doing? Good. Man.
I am doing good. It was such a poop show last week with technical problems and all this, but it's all good. I heard Dave Robinson, your mom's doing better. That's real. Let's just cover that first. I'm really glad that your mom's home. Now where is he? Dave.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes.
But the volume is so low. I'm trying to bring my volume up.
Bring it up. Do it. Bring it. How about now?
Okay. I sound okay to you.
Yes, you sound great.
But can you
turn
hear
it
us?
up so you can hear us?
I know. I want to turn you guys up, and I'm trying to.
Let's do that. Let's not dwell on the audio. I'm sure it's fine. Just turn yourself up so you can hear.
Okay.
It'd be better if you wore headphones like you did last week, but it's all good. So, how you been doing, Dave? What's going on?
So, what's going on is, Mom got out of the hospital.
Glad to hear that.
On Tuesday.
Awesome.
Very glad to hear.
And she had suffered a mild stroke.
Okay.
And just a little bit of, she had issues with the left arm.
Okay.
So she was unable to raise it. And nothing in the face. And let me say something.
Okay.
Brother Randy, our last show. If you look at the beginning of that show, and Randy says he's doing a stroke victim.
Okay.
Do you guys remember when he said that?
I don't remember that, but yes, okay.
Okay. I just thought, oh my God. He did the facial thing. It was a little joke thing, but he didn't know.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? Which is fine. I just said, oh shit.
It's a fine line between tragedy and comedy and irony on this show.
Yeah. Exactly. So when I mentioned it to you guys at the end, I was wondering, Randy's probably going, oh man.
Well, maybe he'll come on the show and redeem himself from his faux pas.
It's all good.
How was your visit to Connecticut? Otherwise, you doing well? You gonna hang around? You coming to my party next Friday?
Okay. Well, we need to talk about your party, my friend, because that will determine if I'm going to be staying.
All right. So everybody should know that I have a birthday party on the 1st of March. That is happening at Tawa in where is that? Stanford, which is Big Bees, Monster Bees, whatever 100 other names it had. It was Club London for a while. Now it's Tawa.
It's okay in the mall.
No. That's up like in Glenbrook.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
So,
Ed.
Yes.
Okay, Ed. Please make sure I text me, do whatever.
You're on the guest list.
All the info. And
Okay,
is it actually happening on the 2nd, which was
No, it's happening
Saturday?
Friday the 1st. I'm playing with Cooked Up. I'm the guest keyboard player by accident that night, or by accident, and because I'm doing.
And then it runs into. Okay. All right.
12:01. I'm going to be 60 years old. That's the plan.
Okay. All righty.
So hopefully everybody can make it. Come down early. Come down before 12:01. Come down at like.
Obviously. Oh no, there's no absolutely. Yes. Yeah,
so
okay.
That's gonna be kind of fun, and I'll have all those details out to everybody. Keep an eye on my Facebook page and all that.
Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah, it should be a fun night of music. They don't normally have a keyboard player, so they add a piece now and again. So there you go.
Okay. Okay.
That'll be fun. They're a fun band.
It should be a fun night. So Dave Robinson, I'm going to
Yes.
mute you. If you can get a hold of some headphones, that would be great because you're echoing like crazy. But I'm going to mute
Okay.
you for
What I'm
now.
going to
And
do is this. Let me do this, Ed. Let me turn the TV set off. How is that now?
that's what you need to do. Exactly.
Check. Yeah.
Hold on.
Why don't you
Hold
do
on, Ed.
get the show started?
Let's
Okay.
get the volume.
What am I doing?
Sort out his technical issues there. And how have you been doing, by the way?
For me?
Yeah.
I'm okay. I'm just dealing with a great sense of dread, but other than that, it's all good. You know?
What's the sense of dread? What's going on? I'm the one
I don't want
turning
to get into it
60.
with you because
All right, good.
You'll think it's you don't believe anything could actually go bad, but believe me, things could go bad.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that something's going bad, but do some music.
It hasn't yet. It will though.
Okay.
Okay. So, am I doing something? That's what I'm doing, right?
Yeah, do a song. Sounds great.
We will ring around the rosy children. They were circles around the sun. Never grow up, never slow down, never grow old, never ever die young. Synchronized with the rising moon, even with the evening star, they were true love written in stone. Never alone, they were never that far apart. And we couldn't bear to believe they might make it. We had to close our eyes, cut up our losses into doable doses, ration our tears and sighs. Whoa, you could see them on the street on a Saturday night. Everyone used to run them down. They're a little too sweet, a little too tight, not enough tough for this town. Couldn't touch them with a 10-foot pole. No, it didn't seem to rattle at all. They were glued together, body and soul. That much more with their backs up against the wall. Hold them up, hold them up. Never do let them fall. Pray to the dust and the rust and the ruin that names us and shames us and claims us all. Guess it had to happen someday soon. Wasn't nothing to hold them down. Rise among us like a big balloon. They'll forsake the ground. Oh yes, their hearts were broken. Yes, their dreams ran dry, but our golden ones sail on to another land beneath another sky. Oh, their hearts be broken. Let other dreams run dry, but our golden ones sail on to another land beneath another sky.
I love that.
Nice.
Was lost and then I was found.
That's all right. I love that tune. Thank you for doing it.
That's a great song, isn't it?
Yes,
That
it
is a super. Speaking of lost and found, Randy Stone.
There he is.
Randy Stone.
Do an imitation of somebody having a stroke, Randy.
I know when he said that.
So we can make it really inappropriate.
We can make it really awkward. Yeah,
we can laugh about it after the fact.
Yes, I came on to make fun of Dave's mom. Oh God, no, I'm so sorry.
No, brother.
Good television, though.
Love
Yeah,
you.
right. Yeah, man. Every
you.
car crash, every train wreck. Yeah.
No,
Oh, my
love you, my brother.
Likewise, man. And how is mom?
Mom is good.
Home?
She got out Tuesday, and she goes through doing her physical therapy for the arm. It wasn't.
I was just there today. Yeah.
It was nothing.
Oh.
Yeah, nothing with the face. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I want to bring somebody on that I don't know if you guys know. I bet Bill Nolan does. I bet you don't know this guy, right? So this guy is an amazing photographer. He used to come. He's a friend of AJ's. He used to come to the Cobb's Mill Inn back in the day, and he's been to some of my jams between then and now. But I haven't seen him in must be 4 or 5 years since definitely before the pandemic. And his name is Mike and Mondo. You know, it's funny. Like you try to pronounce somebody's name, you know their name, but you only saw it on Facebook for so long. It's Mondaruli. Oh my God! Well, here he is.
Mondaruli. Hey guys.
Mondaruli.
Hey man, how are you?
Baby.
Hello.
Does anybody know this guy, Mike?
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, Randy, I've met a few times.
Yeah, he actually can make me look civil. It's very good. He's got technique.
Haven't you been on this before, Mike?
No, never.
Never.
No.
No, but your
black
black and white shots from the shoe are fabulous. Your black and white shots of Billy Fest were great.
That wasn't me.
That wasn't you.
No.
They were good.
No, I wasn't there. It's too far from me. At the Horseshoe?
Yeah.
I wish I was there. No. I've been to
You're
the
batting
Horseshoe.
250, Randy.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Well, that's all right. He didn't make fun
Yeah,
of me.
so far I'm like, yeah, hitting it.
He didn't make fun of me.
Somebody
didn't
shot
make
some
fun
good
of
stuff on Monday
But,
night, actually, this
yeah.
past Monday.
Yeah. No,
I
he's
haven't played
so
forever.
Mike. You're still taking pictures, obviously, Mike, right?
I'm taking pictures, yeah. I'm still going around taking pictures here and there, and have some bands that want me to do promos and stuff like that. So,
Yeah, right.
You know,
That's
and
great. It was really good to
listening
see you.
shots.
Yeah, my
Yeah, thanks.
problem is that I decided at one point. So I've always taken pictures, not like you, but I always taken pictures of things, and I decided, I've since that thing came out, it's got a decent camera,
Yeah.
but so I was like, why am I going to drag my SLR and then
Right.
I got to take the chip out and I got to put it in the slot and then I got to photo edit. I'm like,
Yeah, I know. That's
So-
the thing
so-
with everybody's got a phone with a camera.
But I've got I have some nice Nikon lenses, and the Nikon body that I was using was like, it was great, but it was like 10 years old, and
Right.
it was digital, but it wasn't the first generation of digital. It was okay and whatever. So I go out and I had some money, and I go out and I buy a great Nikon body, right? And oh my God, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take pictures at the jams. That's what I'm going to do. So I got a body that's great with low light, like unbelievable with low light.
Mm.
And I bought it in February of 2020. And then boom,
Yeah.
the pandemic hit, and there was no, and it's sitting in a case right here. And I'm like, I take pictures of some birds and whatnot, but it's
Well, that's like my bass sitting in a case.
there it is.
My bass
You
is
got to
all in a
use
case.
your stuff. You got to use your toys.
I haven't played in a long time. I haven't played forever.
I had inherited from my father a really nice Nikon F, SLR for real,
Right.
Film. And I got it, I got it from him, in like 1982, but it was like a 1970, and
Right.
I would collect bodies as I went along, just so I had some spare parts and stuff. You would find stuff that people were just throwing out and stuff. And and also too, I was in advertising at the time, so there was a lot of graft with like color houses. I could get virtually every photograph I ever had, like, printed into seat prints, and I could do all sorts of, like I get stuff done. I was giving them a lot of business, and I didn't consider it completely seedy, but once everything, and like my 55 lens, it was like my eyeballs. It was like the way I looked at the world was through a 55. When I looked at that, I knew it was what it was. When I went to 150, it was like a different thing. And, the aspect ratio wasn't the same, but like the 55, it was like fucking, I felt like it was an appendage, to me. Yeah. But it's like once it got out of, film and that thing, I kind of lost interest. It's like it became different. And then when you're dealing with everybody who has a phone, who thinks they're a photographer, and in some respects, they're right, because the standards have fallen so far that it's like, there were.
Well, no, but they are amazing. The latest iPhones. I watched I went to film school and whatever, and I shot on, 16 millimeter. I never shot 35 for film. It's just
not even when you were in porn.
Yeah, in porn we shot with 35. No, we shot with Super 8 in porn. But you want to hear this? They're coming out now. Kodak has just released a Super 8 camera that takes film cartridges that the younger generation now wants to shoot film. And so the manufacturers are coming out with new bodies that are film bodies, and Kodak. This is the great thing. So you remember Super 8? You put a cartridge in the side of it, and you it made a big racket. It didn't record audio. You look through this crappy viewfinder and whatever. So now the Kodak Super 8 camera that shoots film has a digital viewfinder and records audio, and then you can synchronize it later. And it's all fancy, and film is back. So
Ed,
it's like vinyl.
It's interesting that you use Super 8 and porn in the same sentence.
Well, when Ed was in porn, he swore he would not go digital.
That was his porn nickname, Super 8. Ed, Super 8.
I was definitely digital, and my porn career was definitely digital, way before digital cameras.
All right, but this is ironic. Today, I was looking for something. One of the sons, both sons have moved out. Mother-in-law's in one of the rooms.
All right.
Went to the other son's room, which has been vacant for years. So I'm looking for something. I can't believe you guys are bringing this up. And I discovered this hours ago. A Leica Mini Lux Zoom.
Wow.
I will accept that for my birthday.
25 years ago.
I will accept that for my birthday as a gift.
It's going to head on eBay at the speed of light.
Right?
Holy shit! You're going to get. Is that a Leica that you're going to get like $7,000 for? Or
no.
Do you
Get
know?
500, 600 or something like that for it. I don't know.
Because Leica is now selling digital cameras, and somehow I'm on their mailing list. They're like $8,000.
Oh yeah,
looks just like that.
Yeah,
it's a luxury brand. Yeah,
absolutely. That's very cool. Leica. Yeah. So anyway, so photography is amazingly fun. Film is coming back, and which I never thought would happen.
Yeah. I donated all my stuff to Brian McMahon High School because their photography class, the kids were into it. But this was a while ago, and I hope that they used it. But I didn't care to. Well,
now it's all back, and so everybody goes crazy, like for old lenses and old camera bodies and all their. Everything is expensive, like recording stuff. Somebody posted today on a synthesizer forum that I'm a member of because I'm a nerd. They posted a Tascam Porta Studio. I don't know if you remember those. They had a cassette tape.
I remember those.
It was 4 tracks on cassette. You didn't flip it over.
Right.
And
they were cool. Yeah.
They were noisy, and they I don't think they had Dolby noise reduction. They were like
no, but we know any better. They were great,
right?
For what?
Well, there
did.
You go.
Yeah.
And I remember Bruce Springsteen recorded an album on one. Like he did the tracking at his house, and then they took it into Power Station or something and made an amazing, mixed and mastered it. But it was actually lousy. Right. It was, I'm going to buy this thing. It's $500 because I can afford it, and I can't afford $500,000 to buy a Studio Revox reel-to-reel and a Neve mixing board, right? And so you use this thing. Now you can't buy these things. They're thousands of dollars. They're like vintage, that cool cassette vintage sound. And I'm like, oh. Anyway.
I like when you're talking about flipping it over. I remember the first time that, you know, I got my mother to, you know, I got her like a CD player, you know, and I, you know, I got her CDs of like, you know, Sinatra and stuff, you know, stuff that she was into, because the stuff that was down in the basement, you know, it's just that you get to a certain age, you don't want to be putting a stylus on a friggin' piece of vinyl. You just don't want to be doing that. So I would, you know, I gave her a bunch of, you know, Sinatra Capitol recordings, fucking awesome recording, you know. And she was like, well, how do you flip it over? Like, Mom, you don't flip it over, Mom. It's a CD. It's all on one side, you know.
You know what Elwood used to do in the Blues Brothers band that I had? He did this for a while when we were playing a lot. He would, during break, you know, like he was always in character. Jake and Elwood were always in character during breaks and everything. And he would bring a chair, a stool, and he would put it on the stage, in the middle of the stage, as we took the break. And everybody's looking at him like, what's he doing? And he bought an 8-track player that plays like, I don't know what he had. He had some like old Elvis or something on 8-track. And he put a microphone on the speaker of the 8-track. And that was our break music.
There you go.
It's cool.
Vintage, cool, Americana, kind of, you know, weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it would go to flip, and it would go to the next track, and it would make this horrible clunking sound. You remember the 8-track sound?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
So,
good, man. My sister had 8 tracks. You know, she had like a 66 Firebird or something like that. Awesome fucking car. You know, it was like
under dash 8-track.
Yeah. And she had an 8-track player there, and I just remember she turned me on to the Stylistics. She had like the Stylistics greatest
on
hits.
8-track.
And it's like she and I didn't always get along, but I have to give her props on that one. You know, it was like,
Right.
God damn, you know, like I'm driving around her car and listening to Stylistics.
Right.
That's pretty cool. That's a good memory to have.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah.
But you know, they sound better on Spotify. I don't know.
I don't know.
Like
I got, you
technology, you know.
I never, I didn't dislike CDs as much as many people did. You know, I think that it really depended on if they were recorded properly. You know, if they were recorded properly, you know, you know, the first CD I ever owned was the first album by the band, Music from Big Pink.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And you know, I thought it sounded really good. And then another one I got was like anything by Peter Gabriel was like off the charts good, because it was like the density of his recordings. You know, somehow there was separation, and you sort of heard things you weren't hearing before. And you heard like, you know, you heard percussion tracks that you weren't really picking up on, and you found stuff. And if it was a little sterile, at least it was like, you know, you were hearing stuff. And that being said, I loved vinyl, and I loved cassettes. I loved like making my own cassettes like that. They sounded good. They freaking sounded good.
I was talking about cassettes to one of my students today, I think it was yesterday, and I said, I asked him the question that I always ask my students. They're all high school age, right? And so I said, do you own any music? And he looked like, I don't know what you're exactly, right? And I said, no, do you own any music that you could sell it to me? Because I could sell you a record, or I could sell you I can't sell you the rights to the music, but I could sell you the record. And he's like, he did not understand the question. I talked about tape, and he's like, cassette? Yeah. Like I said, it's got a thing, and it goes like this. And he's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, is that strictly like a generational thing? Because I know, you know, like I know this from the last time I moved. I'm like, oh my God, I have so many fucking books. I'm like a library, you know, and you know, I was never, you know, after I got out of elementary school, I was never big on libraries. I always wanted a book. I wanted it in my hand. And it's like, obviously nobody, you know, that's a very small group of people, I suppose, you know, all things considered. More people are doing, you know, they're getting, you know, the books on pads and stuff. But it was like, you know, I'm sure, you know, like
why do I want to own these books?
Because when a chick comes over, you want her to like look at your books and go, "Oh, that's what kind of person you are." You want somebody to come over, look at your record collection, and go,
but how often is my
now I
wife
see
that
who you
far away
are.
from the picture that's going to pay off? Really, not that often, So it's
No,
but I
it's
mean,
an
it's like,
identity
there's something
thing.
that you walk by them and you look at it like when I look at somebody's house and if they have like built-in bookcases,
Yeah.
to me that's like a detached garage. Like it's like that would be awesome to live there because they have bookcases. It's like.
Right, and if you think about it, now you have a million, you have access to 20 million songs on Spotify, and you have access to, you could download a book and read it on Kindle or have it read it to you.
There's just a huge flaw in Spotify, Pandora, all that. If you're demanding, if you're saying I want this, I want that, sometimes they have it. Sometimes you have to upgrade your membership to get whatever you want. I don't have that kind of a freaking routine with my freaking trusty old iPod that has 25,000 songs on it.
Right.
And you could literally play the thing for 75 days and not repeat a song. Like you ever look at that? You look at like they'll give you the breakdown of like how long it lasts, and it's like 75 days, 6 hours, 0.5 minutes, so on seconds.
Right.
So I could just play that like that. Every time I go to like Alexa, which my daughter gave me because she didn't want me to be a complete fossil, every time I go to it, I'm like, play Moby Grape. And they're just like, to play Moby Grape, you need to have a blah, 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 or to do something. And, you're at, my, I don't have my dock anymore that plays my iPod because that fritzed. But, I had a birthday party here like last week and it's like, I would have playlists that would be fabulous for that and all that. And instead, we went on like Pandora or Spotify or something. And it was like super generic and super their idea of what we wanted to hear. But there was nothing that wasn't kind of logical in it. It was all kind of, I get why you played Don McLean because I asked for Joni Mitchell. Like, I get it, but it's wrong,
Right. Yeah. And that's the other problem is that they play, Ray Charles. It's like, I got a woman. That's the only song Ray Charles wrote, that song, and the only song Stevie Wonder wrote is Superstition, like
it's like classic rock format on radio.
Right.
Jimi Hendrix has 3 songs. The Doors have
so you
3
have
songs.
to know, you have to actually know, you have to say, okay, like what I do on Spotify is I go in and I'll listen to like 4 albums. I do a lot of driving, so I 4 albums of a band. Like I'll go to the band and I'll listen to their first, second, third, fourth, and most popular record, and then I feel like maybe I've stumbled across some cool songs. But you can't just have Sirius Radio pick the one song that defines
that's it, because
the band.
Their logic stream is, they don't know you. They don't know anything about you. The fact that you asked for Joni Mitchell doesn't mean that, you like Natalie Merchant. They don't know anything about you, so you sit there and like, when I drive in my car, I listen to my iPod, ladies and gentlemen. And, like I said, this thing has, 25,000 songs in it. When I put that mother on shuffle, I get like Gilbert and Sullivan going into Brother Jack McDuff, going into, Robert Johnson,
going into
Squeeze, going into, it's like
to
the
a self-help
radio
book,
station you ever heard, but that's what you want. You want something weird and like scatological.
Although, I got to tell you, gents, I think it is getting better. Because I'm looking down here, my device from Amazon, She Who Shall Not Be Named.
Device, Randy?
What?
I can see your device, Randy.
Well, I see your device.
See?
It's down there. We all know that, but where is it?
But She Who Shall Not Be Named is starting to be AI informed. So if you're asking for an artist, I'm addicted to the Amazon device. It brings up anything I ask for, almost anything, not everything. Yep. It's not great on jazz, and it's like she has never heard of classical. Like her classical knowledge is really vacant.
Give it a few months when AI really
that's where I'm going. That's
takes
what.
Over.
So I've subscribed to Amazon Music Unlimited, I don't know, it's $8 a month or something ridiculous. Like, okay. And I really can. So when I'm practicing with bands, I mean, Ed, you've been over in my basement. We're like, how does that really go? I call it up on a big loud stereo, and we hear it instantly, and we fix the fucking problem on the spot.
Right.
Yes.
Usually.
Right.
Yeah. No. When AI, I stay up on the AI stuff now, and when AI, the things that have happened in just the last few weeks, when AI
Like what?
starts, well, there's this. It's the year of the agent, right? And the agent meaning like that. So there's this company that, right? Secret agent man, exactly right. So I've shown you this, right? This is a groove box that I use. It looks like a calculator, but it's a groove box, right? And the company that makes this, called Teenage Engineering, has
Teenage Engineering.
Yeah, they're a Swedish design company, and they're called Teenage Engineering.
Are they in bikinis and white go-go boots when they're?
Yeah, exactly. They have made a lot of unusual. So they're a weird company. They came out with. Remember, I held up the little thing. They look like little tiny calculators, and they look like an old circuit board. They made those, and they were like $99, $89, $50, whatever. People thought, oh, it's just some crappy company and whatever. No. Then they came out with the next product that they came out with after those was a little tiny, like, I don't know. It's the same size as this, right? I've shown you this on the show, right? It's about that big, right? And they're like, oh, and it kind of does an interesting job, but kind of a lousy job at recording, and it's noise. It's not good. It's okay. $2,000. And the whole industry was like, because nobody thinks $2,000 is nothing. You know, nobody just sneezes, impulse buys $2,000, right?
That's a big ask. Yeah.
$50. Yeah. But then they went to 2,000. Then they came out with this thing, which does all kinds of stuff. It was $300. Like, so they're a weird company that's all over. So anyway, long story short, they just came out with their first product that they're not releasing under their own name, but they designed it. And it's weird design oriented stuff called the Rabbit. And this is not a sex toy. So don't even, right? It's called the Rabbit. And the Rabbit,
I don't even know that reference.
Is I've already said too much. The Rabbit is a small device, about half the size of your iPhone, roughly, and it is an AI. All it does is it's an AI, and you have to talk to it, and it talks back to you. It has a little screen, and you can say something like, get me some options. I want to fly with my family to London, and we all want to go. And I want to, book me a hotel that I need
a hotel, and I need a driver, and
right. And I need all this, and then give me some suggestions for restaurants, or whatever. And it goes, just a minute, and boom, it gives you your itinerary and the prices, and it goes out and negotiates it all. So you don't have to go into apps on a phone. It just does what you say. It's an assistant, and it knows who you are. You can say, hey, everybody, get my cousin a present for their birthday. They know what I'm going to spend on my cousin. They know if I like my cousin. It has information about you.
It's scooping up all the back data and integrating it. Yeah.
Right. And so, that's going to be what's going to happen this year is that AIs aren't just going to be like Google, which is like, oh, you're asking a question for something. Yeah. It's going to be like, I know who Bill Noman is, and I know if you said, play me a fun
Good
song.
luck with that AI. Good luck. It's funny. I drive this friend of mine who has a very successful business in Darien to the airport every once in a while, and it's cool. Like we've been doing it for so many years. We're like very friendly. So this morning I took her to LaGuardia, and we were just talking bullshit about whatever, and she was talking about like investments, and she has this new guy who she met, blah blah blah, and AI was his thing, man. He was just like he turned her on to stuff that was like bought it at 80, it went to 160 in like a month, and she said, well, when do you get rid of this? And he was like, it's going to definitely go to 500 or whatever, he was so confident in it that it was going to go further on.
It's like NVIDIA. Yeah. That thing. Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. That's exactly what it was. That was the name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
They went from they went from, oh, you make chips for gamers to being $1.5 trillion in market cap within the past 8
I
months.
just love when I get in a situation that just underscores A, how out of it I am.
I mean,
B,
me too.
how clueless I am to any of this.
World War III is going to be fought over NVIDIA, over who owns Taiwan, because that's where they are. So
well, and the weird thing is, this is my classic. This is why I suck at investing. So it's gone up, whatever, 800% in the past 6 months. And so I sit here and say, I missed it. It's all over. And I guarantee you a year from now, that $600 stock will be $2,500. And I'll be like,
no, he says like in a couple of months, it's 1,000, it's like for whatever that's worth. But, like when I drive past the billboard that has like, Powerball and Mega Millions, and I talk about, and I look at the figure that's there and I said, well, if I won that, I'd start this, scholarship program for Native American lacrosse players in upstate New York. And I do this and I do that. The problem is I don't play the fucking thing.
I know.
So it's like all of my brilliance about like, well, I do this, I do that. I do really good things with it. But, it's like, what's the point? You don't play it. It's like,
no, because there's something demeaning about after you've filled up your tank, walking into the Quickie Mart and like, wasting $20 on Powerball. It's like,
not if you chase it down with like some ice cream.
There you go. All right.
You get the ticket, you get a little ice cream. I think you've done what you're supposed to do.
All right, that's fair point. Yeah.
A Haagen-Dazs pop, like one of those.
Yeah, so you came in there for a purpose, and by the way, give me some Powerballs. Yeah,
that's exactly right.
Oh man,
funny. All right, Bill Nolan, play us a song.
All right, maybe I'll toss this out. I don't know. Should I toss this out to the world? I have all sorts of things. Warren Zevon, the band, Steely Dan, Sean Colvin. Maybe Sean Colvin. Maybe I'm going Sean Colvin. Gender bending, because that's me, So I kind of gave you a shot at deciding and then took it away. Riding shotgun down the avalanche. Tumbling and falling down the avalanche. So be quiet tonight, the stars shine bright on this mountain of new fallen snow. I will raise up my voice into the void. You have left me nowhere to go. I love you so much, it's so bizarre. A mystery goes on and on. This is the best thing and the very most wrong. We don't get along. After countless appeals, we keep spinning our wheels on this mountain of new fallen snow. So I let go the catch, we over the edge. You have left me nowhere to go. Sometimes you make me lose my will to live, become a beacon for your soul. But the past is stronger than my will. I don't go alone. Riding shotgun down the avalanche. Tumbling and falling down the avalanche. So be quiet tonight. Be sure to set light on this mountain of new fallen snow. I will raise up my voice into the void. You left me nowhere to go. Riding shotgun down the avalanche. sorry, Sean, but I did the best I could do.
Nice.
Great.
Yeah. Hey, so where has Will Baird been?
Will Baird was around a week or two ago, and then today he was going to be on the show, but something came up, so he couldn't make it. So if you're out there, Will, hope you're doing okay. And yeah, he's around. He's hovering. He just couldn't make it today.
Lurking like the sleeping sharks on the Jacques Cousteau special. Lurking.
But
The shark, he lurks.
yeah, it's
The
funny how
sleeping
people
sharks, they lurk.
it's funny how people sort of drop in and out for various reasons. I mean, you guys have like Frank Antorno's probably going to stop by. He said after his gig tonight. I'm like, what gig do you have that ends so early? But a lot of gigs end early, so he's thinking he'll probably stop
I'll
in
tell you,
later.
Frank is the hardest working man in showbiz.
Like,
I'll tell you.
Wow, sure.
And I have still, he and I are ships in the night. We've been trying to catch each other's gigs, and the calendar has not worked yet. I want to see him live.
Well, I mean, I used to think that, Randy, you had more gigs than anyone, but the fact that you've been on this thing like 2 weeks in a row says to me, it's Frank.
I know. Totally. I know. And I have something on Saturday, and then a week from, and then I have nothing in March.
What?
Yeah, no.
Where are you playing Saturday?
Saturday at the Castle Black Rock with Holly.
Right.
And then the next week, the 2nd of March, we're already in March, Joey C's Boathouse with the girls. So
fun.
And then
Very nice.
Then I have to have foot surgery in the middle of March, and I'm not doing shit.
And by the way, on Monday, I believe Prue O'Brien is playing at the Horseshoe.
Oh, is she? Oh, I got to go then.
Yeah, she's playing with Chris.
I know who you mean.
That Satuist, that group they have. It's like a 2-piece, and they have a dobro player coming in.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Oh, I got to go then.
Oh, so you? Oh, wait. So you're not March 2nd. You're not. It's this Saturday that you're playing at the Castle.
That's this
March
Saturday
2nd.
at the Castle, and March 2nd at Joey C's with the girls.
Oh, at Joey C's with the girls. There you go.
Right.
So yeah, I'll come to your gig Saturday night. I'm going to be in town, so I'll come.
Oh, at Black Rock Castle, Toon Squad with
Yeah.
Holly, with Warren and Ken
Yeah, I'll come
Susi
by.
on drums.
I
I love that place. It's cozy. There's some people with an Irish accent so thick I could barely understand them. And the food's great. It's just, I can't say enough about the place. It's just a cozy, fun, small place to play.
Yep.
Hey guys,
Yeah,
it was nice to meet you and see you guys again. I will take off. I have to go write some music and file some photographs.
All right. Do your thing. Good to see you, Mike.
Thanks for the
Get out while you can.
Good stuff. So yeah, I'll come to that gig on Saturday night. So for everybody else, for Assassins Take Notice, I'll be at the Castle in Black Rock.
There you go. We start at 8, but I'll be there early because the food's good.
All
But
right.
you start at 8?
Yeah.
That's a plus. You know.
That's cool. Dave Robinson, you want to go see? Oh, you already saw that band. You already saw them. at
He
the
did.
Duck.
I was so surprised. I told you that story. Yeah, and you had my back to him. I hear this. Hey, can I try your bass? I'm like,
Right.
who the hell? Oh, it's Dave.
Who the what the?
I
Yeah.
dated this woman. I
Who
dated this
did?
woman a long time ago. She was a Broadway actor, a successful Broadway actor, and she. I said, "Oh, I'm playing with such and such a band on Saturday. You want to go and come and see the band?" And she's like, "I already saw that band." And I'm like, "But you could come again." And she's like, "Why would I come again?" Like
I know.
it's like if you're in a Broadway show and
Yeah, you saw the show.
you're
Yeah.
not going to go again.
Yeah,
Like she already saw it. It was like the Blues Patrol or somebody. She's like, I've
Yeah.
already seen that. And I'm like, okay.
I've seen 2 theatrical presentations twice,
Right.
and both of them, started in. I saw them in the small venue, like Pirates of Penzance. I love Gilbert and Sullivan, right? So Pirates of Penzance was in Central Park at the Joe Papp Theater in Central Park.
Right.
And it was, Linda Ronstadt and Kevin Kline, and it was friggin', it's Gilbert and Sullivan. And then that went on Broadway. I went to see that. And then I saw Sting did a musical called The Last Ship, which I liked very much. It didn't last long. If I ever meet him, I will tell him that is not a qualitative editorial comment. that's just the fucking business. If for some reason you had been a Disney character, believe me, your thing would have played for a long time, But the music was really great. It was great. It was about, he comes from, I think, maybe Manchester, and it's all about building ships. And there are some incredible photographs of Manchester. I think it's Manchester. I could be wrong. But, you see these rows of houses like they had in Help, in the Beatles movie Help, like these rows of houses. And at the end of the block is this humongous freaking tanker that's like, like 8 times bigger than the nearest building. It's like,
Right.
And that's kind of like, at the end of my street, there was like a dock that went into the Mianus River, and then this thing, there was like a freaking giant thing. And he wrote this very good thing. And I saw him do it at Joe's Pub on Lafayette Street, which was great. And then I saw it when it went on Broadway. And, it's like,
was he in it?
If
was
you
he
like
in
them,
it?
you go to things more. You can go to things more than once.
Was he in it? Was he there?
Well, there were a couple of performances where he was there, and it became apparent, much like when Paul Simon did The Cape Man. I'm sure if he had appeared in it, that would have helped the box office. And Sting was not going to commit to that. But honestly, the people he had in it were so good, and it just worked. But
like David Byrne was in, his David Byrne on Broadway thing, whatever he did.
That thing was amazing. It
was amazing. But he was actually in it. I got a lot of respect for that.
Well, I mean, it was just a glorified David Byrne gig,
right?
With much more elaborate, choreography.
Staging. Yeah, the staging and the choreography was amazing. How they basically, it was, for those of people who haven't seen it, it was David Byrne and a group of like a marching band, and they would come out and they would do these marching band routines that are fully choreographed and all that, but you couldn't see a microphone. Like there was a guy walking around with a drum set, and there was a guy walking around wearing a keyboard rig, but you couldn't see a wire or a cable or a mic.
You saw it, obviously.
It was so nicely put together, and all battery operated, and they're running around. It was like super cool.
I thought there was like, okay, love the Talking Heads, saw them many times, like David Byrne stuff a lot. He's very prolific, so I'm not on top of everything that he's ever done.
Right.
But I thought in this thing there was going to be some, critical mass point where I was just going to be like, this is fucked up. And, when you say marching band, it's not like a marching band. It's a band that's able to play and march,
and dance.
They're able
it's
to
not
play
a tuna that tastes good. It's a tuna that has good taste, right?
And the staging, it was brilliant, because I sometimes go to things, I want to be in like the front row of the balcony. I want to be on top of the thing and
that's where I was. Yeah.
It's like when you go to a basketball game and or a hockey game, and you're a little bit up. If you're down on the boards, you're not going to see anything. If you're up there, you see the plays develop, you see everything begin to happen. And this thing, the sides of it, the three walls that separated the stage from backstage, they were kind of beaded, these silver beaded things, similar, like if you took like, a light thing.
Yeah, like what a keychain is made, like a lousy keychain is made of that.
Yeah, they were like keychains, but like thousands,
100,000 of them. Yeah, right.
And people would pass from backstage to in stage. They would literally, as they always used to say, break the wall. They would go through the wall. And the musicians that he had, as you would imagine, from Brazil, from Africa, from they were just fucking brilliant, I was really blown away by that. I thought it was great. I guess it's not on anymore. American Utopia is what it was called, but it was like.
So I have an offshoot story about that. What in the last days of the Wendy Jams, it was one of the holidays, either Thanksgiving or Christmas. By the way, if I talk weird, I had 3 teeth pulled out yesterday.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm getting ready for implants. So
right.
It's like when the guys are going to pave your driveway, they come and tear everything up, and then you're going to pave it over again. So I'm talking kind of weird.
With a fanny tuck, you're doing all of it.
Thank you. So I'm there at the Wendy Jam. I'm on bass in the house band. There's a very cute girl, cute black chick with a funky haircut, walks in, looks at me, goes, "Do you think someone would let me use a guitar?" I'm like, "Well, I got a bass, but I don't know." "Yeah, this is a friendly crowd. I'm sure somebody would." And so I asked her, "Hey, could," and I forget who it was, but someone nicely said, "Here," handed her a Stratocaster.
Right.
And you guys all know this. I could tell just by the way she put it on. Like,
Right.
oh, just like Dave, when a drummer sits down on the throne, you can tell, okay. And she proceeded to play brilliantly, and she was in David Byrne's band in that play.
No shit.
Her name was
remember,
Angie Swan. Angie Swan is her name, and she wasn't like a shredding lead player, but she was on it, and she moved and danced great with it. I'm like, oh my God. But again, just the second she put it on, Lance was the drummer. That guy, Lance, I just looked at her like, this chick's going to shred. Watch.
Was she possibly from Philly? Was she from Philly by any chance?
I have no idea. I think she was in town because who's the couple in Fairfield? The Tina and her husband.
Yeah,
Chris Brown.
Yeah. And they live in Fairfield.
Yes.
So I'm guessing that's why she was on her way back to New York, and she heard about this jam and stopped off because she could walk to the train station and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, Talking Heads and Tom Tom Club, which are two, for
I love Tom Tom Club.
But not to change the subject, what you described as the way she put the instrument on, and you just knew, like, that's what it's like running a jam for 15 years.
I bet you could see that, yes.
Like, people come up and they're like, hey, can I play? There was this guy, and he came to Cobb's Mill Inn, and he had to look this guy like, you're like, he's right out of like a Quentin Tarantino movie, like into some, roadside, whatever. And he came in, he had the right kind of dusty guitar case with the right kind of little patches on it and stuff. And he had the look and the hair and everything was just right. Older guy, but like just everything was like right. And he comes up and he's like, hey, what do you have to do to get on the stage? And I go, look, we're super friendly here. Like, you just got to play and, and what, right. And so he says, yeah, I'll watch and then I'll decide.
Put that monkey on your back. No, Norman.
Right. And I'm like, okay. So he sits at the bar, he orders dinner and some drinks, spends some money, sits at the bar, eats his food, and leaves. Right. And I'm like, ooh, like he thinks we suck. He's obviously amazing. He's got the look, he's got the everything, right? And so he comes back another time, and he had the guitar, and he had the different whatever. He comes like some months later, he comes back, and he opened the guitar case, and he said, I really haven't played lately. And I'm like, oh, he opens the guitar case and the strings are all broken and the guitar looks like he took it out of the garbage. And it's like, no, he hasn't played it in 40 years.
Oh, wow.
And he brought it out of the closet, but he doesn't know how to play. That's the issue. But he looked the part, but you never know what you're going to get. Somebody walks up and says, the other end of the spectrum was I've told the story here before, is that I was at Le Chateau, that fancy, JP Morgan place up in South Salem. And I ran a jam there for a very, very short time. We had a blast there, but it was a weird, like, invitation only jam, and they didn't want a big rowdy crowd. They had to keep it a certain way. But anyway,
well, that's easy to do.
And there was this girl there, and she was the daughter of somebody extremely wealthy, and she had diamonds on, and she was like this young girl. She was wearing jeans or whatever. No, she was nice, really nicely dressed, like way too nicely dressed. And, it's kind of cool, but a young girl, maybe 30, something like that. And she's really drunk. She was really drunk. And she comes up, and Ray Simonelli was there, and Bob Lamont was there. There were a bunch of people there that we all know. And she goes, do you guys know Freebird? And Freebird is one of those songs you don't allow people to play that at a jam because nobody can play it, right? It turns into a
even
shit
if they
show.
can.
No one should play it.
Shoot it in the head before it grows.
So I'm like, why do you ask about Free? It's my favorite song. I love Freebird. She's really drunk, right? I'm like, so I said, look,
she must have been hot.
I said, what do you want to do? She goes, you play Freebird and I'll play drums. And I'm like, can you do that? And she's like, oh yeah. She's like, amazing. It's my favorite song. I've been doing it forever and whatever. And I'm like, how about this? How about I cue it up? Because I don't want musicians butchering it for you. I'll cue it up like a DJ track. and you play along. She's very good looking and very stylish or whatever. She had friends there. I was like, you sit it. So she sat behind the drum set and she had the look. She got the drumsticks and whatever. And she went, okay. And I hit play and the drum section comes in. She has never been at a drum set ever.
Yeah.
She's never held drumsticks, and she doesn't know what part of the drum you hit. Like she's hitting the sides, she's hitting the stands. Like she doesn't know what the hell she's doing. Right.
The whole notion of the hi-hat, snare, and kick drum.
She's just randomly hitting stuff and whatever, and her hair is going everywhere. And she gets done, and she's like, "Let's play it again." And we're like, "No, right? Everybody's laughing. It was super funny. And then I look over about 10 minutes later. I look over into the corner, and there's Ray Simonelli and a couple of guys sort of standing around her, right? And she pulled her pants down on the back, and she has a tattoo on her ass that says "Freebird."
Oh,
I didn't see it, but everybody else did.
All of a sudden, all's forgiven.
Luckily, she wasn't on that other plane that Leonard Skinner was on. So
there you go. Good. Right, exactly. No, she was amazing, but she'd never ever played at jams.
No one's going darker than me tonight. This is great.
No, I'm deep. I'm deep.
Yeah.
Look at me. I look like a mime character. I look like I'm rotoscoped, don't I? I'm like, it's all black except my face. And my head.
It's kind of a cool look. You know?
You know, the thing that always gets me is, and please, this isn't an editorial and don't take anything from this, but
we will.
When women come up to you and they're singers, singers, and they say they sing, and so you ask them, what's your go-to thing?
Right.
And they don't have one.
Right.
And when they don't have one, they're not singers.
But that's how I met Holly McCrary. That's how I met her. She came into the jam. Hey, you think I could sing a song? And I was like, I don't know. Can you? And then she opened her mouth.
She's the kind of singer. She's the kind of singer. Be like, she'll call a song. And be like, just pick the key. I don't care.
Yeah, right.
And she'll hit it. She'll fucking hit it.
But Holly is literally. I hope her ears are burning on this, but literally, Holly is the person who defies all open mic.
Absolutely.
Paradigms. She is the person that I met her at an open mic, and she blew my mind. And I've seen a lot of people.
Right.
No, and she's the one that we're all hoping for when the drunk chick comes up and says, "I can sing." We're all hoping to hear a Holly. And usually, here's the bigger warning sign. When a chick comes up drunk and says, "My friend's a really good singer," you're going to be amazed. And I'm always like, I bet I'm going to be amazed. I don't doubt that I'm going to be amazed.
You're getting the.
And then all of a sudden, she goes and gets Missy, and Missy comes up.
I also, and this is coming from a guy who uses a 3-ring binder on his gigs. But when they come up there with a cell phone and they start reading the lyrics there, I'm like, you're not a fucking singer, because honestly, I'm asking you to tell me what it is you do best.
You're right. If they can't roll out 3 songs, even if they're the ones everybody does, which is like Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, or okay, fine. At least you have a song. Let's do it.
But you have a band here that will give you the best support you have ever had in your life. We are here to make you sound good if you are good. If you're not good, I don't know how we're going to help you on that. It's kind of like music at bad restaurants.
It can be very, very scary.
It can go horribly wrong.
There's nothing you can do to turn that into a business model that's going to work. I actually, there was some place where there used to be music, and now I'm trying to remember. I'm wondering if it's closed.
What?
Yes,
it's
closed. I know that place. It's closed.
What place?
I either drove by it or something. No, but never mind. That's
what state? What town?
That would be in Connecticut, and it would be either in where was I? I was.
It was a dream. You were having a dream for a moment.
It was all.
No, believe me, I had a dream last night. And believe me, it was nothing like that. It wasn't good either, but it was like.
Oh my God!
No, but
So,
I
we're
think
all going to Randy's gig on Saturday night.
And you said you have a birthday. I was logging in. I got fragments. What's happening?
Yeah, so my birthday is the 2nd, which is a week later. But on the 1st, I'm playing with Cooked Up. I'm the Cooked Up
where?
special guest. We talked about that.
Where? I can't remember.
At Tawa, which is Monster Bees, which is
Club
Big Bees,
London,
which is
Monster
Club
Bee. Yeah.
London,
Oh, cool.
And,
Well, if I'm sober, I might make that trip.
And
Cool.
Randy, and
Yeah.
Bill just had his birthday.
you
That is
did, Bill
correct.
Nolan? We missed your birthday?
I'm sorry it was all over the friggin' internet, but
I didn't see
at
it.
least you got your shit out. That's good, and thank God for that.
I think nice. I think I even managed to type out "Happy Birthday, Bill" on Facebook. So
Oh wow! I was
That's a lot of
unaware.
effort.
Like
When
me not
was it?
playing-
What day was it?
like me not playing Mega Millions. If you don't send, I never get it.
You can't
What
just
day
think
was it, Bill?
best
What
wishes.
day?
Yeah.
It was last Sunday.
Oh, a happy birthday! Happy
Yeah,
birthday!
It's
Seriously.
funny that my
Hey,
birthday is almost always.
Thank you for
Around-
pointing this out, Davey.
Randy,
I can't remember the last time my birthday, and I know this happens, but I can't remember the last time my birthday was on the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of President's Week. It always seems like I'm either on the day or the day before, and that to me makes it special. Plus, I think
There you
that
go.
February is without question the coolest month of the year because,
Cool.
a week, 4 weeks, month, 28 days, with the exception of this year when it's a leap year, which makes it even cooler. It's February with a leap year. It's like,
That's
what?
right.
Arbitrarily, we're throwing another day on here. Go fuck yourself, Egyptian.
I was born.
We
I
don't
was.
care,
I was born 2 days after February 29th, 1964. So
So there was a leap year the year you were born?
baby. I could have
Yeah.
been.
I feel gypped on the people that were born on my day. I just feel like it's, though there are a lot of people that I know, like personally I know, like Neil Curry, who's a good friend, good musician, and a friend of mine, Francisco Fischer, who just had a baby in Belgium like yesterday. And he's the son of a very good friend of mine, and we just happen to share the same birthday, which is kind of cool. But other than that, it's like Yoko Ono, Matt Dillon, Sybil Shepherd, and here's the killer, Dennis DeYoung from Styx. Babe, I love you.
Wow.
I know.
No, it's like shite. Like the day before, I don't know, the day before, like I got a friend who was born on the 17th, and it's like, I don't know, it's like Ray Charles. I mean, not,
Yeah.
it's like guys that I think are gods, but it's like, no.
I have nobody cool. Davey, what were you going to say?
well, I put it out in the streets that it was Bill's birthday. I put it out there.
I missed that.
Happy birthday. I put it all out there.
Dave,
I had to have
diagonal-
Facebook. I had to have Facebook tell me.
The diagonal in this Brady Bunch setup right here,
Yeah.
they just don't care. They don't care about the little people that they step on the way up to the top. They really don't care, To them, I'm just a garbage guy. that
Yes,
goes on
I'm
the
Thurston
freaking
Howell
TV.
the third. Yes. Oh,
Yeah, right.
lovey.
We love you, Bill. We love you.
I
Yeah,
love you, Dave.
I've got Daniel Craig, the actor, right? Who's Bond,
Awesome.
right? I've got John Bon Jovi, right?
Less
And the
awesome,
best
but
one in the
awesome.
history of the world, Dr. Seuss, born on my birthday.
That's a good one, actually. Yeah.
There you go. I'll take Dr.
I don't know
Seuss.
who I have. I'm scared.
I'll look it up
I
for
get
you.
Charles Manson,
Nice.
What was
Jeffrey
your birthday,
Dahmer.
Randy?
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh no.
The guy who my wife works for and has worked for many years, first as an on-site manager of construction stuff, and then he owns a whole thing out here in Silvermine. He's a man from the wandering tribe of Israel. He shares a birthday with Adolf Hitler.
Well, Adolf Hitler, great one.
It's like, oh man, come on now.
That's
When were
rough.
you born,
That's
Randy
rough.
Stone?
That's rough.
What's your
I guess
birthday,
somebody
Randy?
had to share that birthday, but that's tough. That's
Yeah, you can see the DJ. We got a bunch of birthdays to read out today. Hi. Well, happy birthday, Adolf Hitler. Yeah,
I'd like to send it out to Herman Himmler and
that's right. And Joey Mangala's having a birthday today.
So wait, Randy Stone, what's your birthday? I'm gonna look up the famous
I'm
people.
scared now. September 4.
Virgo.
It was always the first day of school. It sucked. I would show up at class. It was the first day of school. No cupcakes, no nothing, you know.
Ooh. I got to tell you, as signs go, I get along with Virgo very well. My wife is a Virgo.
Here's the list.
My dearly departed sister was a Virgo.
Virgo's cool, but this Labor Day thing. Yeah. All right.
No, that's not great.
The 10th, 11th.
Mitzi Gaynor.
Oh, all right. I'll take
actor, singer, dancer, right?
Yeah. Nice legs.
Tom Watson, a golfer. Tom Watson, right? Damon Wayans.
Right? Cool guy.
Actor. Mark Ronson, number 2. Right? He's a musician, DJ, producer. And Beyonce.
Oh, there you go.
I'll take that too.
Hey, Beyonce. Call that.
So far, nobody embarrassing. So I'm happy. Yes. No, like Newt Gingrich. Thank you.
You know, I would swap Dennis DeYoung for Mark Ronson, and I would swap Yoko for Bay. Okay, like I do that immediately.
Yeah.
All right, David,
and DeYoung is a talented guy. That band is filled with talented guys. I just can't stand them. I can't stand their music. But they're talented motherfuckers.
I saw one of those like behind the scenes things that they used to run on MTV.
Right.
And basically Dennis DeYoung, who had a completely different sensibility than Tommy Shaw, the blonde-haired guitarist.
So he was the keyboard guy, right?
Yes, he was a keyboard guy. Yeah. And with his wife, they've done some like cheesy Phantom of the Opera kind of thing going on.
Oh, yeah.
And this behind the scenes thing that was on, MTV, I think, when they put the thing out, like when he was doing like Mr. Roboto, like that thing, the band members, it was like in Spinal Tap when they brought out the miniature Stonehenges.
Right.
It was like the rest of the band was like mortified. They were like, what? And they're out there doing like Tome Origato, Mr. Roboto, like they're doing it, and it's just, and Tommy Shaw wants to be playing the blues, and it's like,
and that guy, that when they were doing Shaw Blades, those guys were fucking good.
I'm sailing away, or is that?
I was just going to do that. I'm sailing away. Is
that Kansas, or is that?
That's Styx.
That's Styx, right?
That's Styx. Oh yeah.
Ed.
Yeah.
I believe you can look it up right now. I'm with Norman Lear.
What's your birthday?
That would be July 27th.
He's a giant.
July 27th. Here we go.
Norman Lear's
a good one.
Alex Rodriguez, basketball player. Maya Rudolph, actress. That's pretty good.
Baseball, you fucking moron.
Baseball. Thank you.
What did I say?
He's from Austria. He's
from baseball. Yeah, I'm trying to read it right.
He's from Barcelona.
It's a small ball with the stick. Yeah, I know that one. And professional wrestler Triple H, right? And let's see, Irish actor. I don't know, Jonathan Rhys Myers. I don't know who that is.
He's good, but
you got Maya Rudolph.
Okay.
I would just take Maya Rudolph.
Oh, Maya Rudolph. Yeah, I love.
Yeah, that's a good one. Alex Rodriguez, basketball player. Yes, famous hockey player.
You know what, Ed? That's the kind of bullshit that would get you shot at the perimeter of, if you were in the Ardennes during the, you would get shot. Okay, who won the World Series? Bobby Hull. Boom, you get shot. Like right there.
Yeah. Wasn't that
Randy, you're not bleeding?
The Pistons, didn't they win the World Series?
Yeah.
I started a new page on my where the heck did it go? I started a new page on I gotta find it. I can't find it now. On my notepad on my iPhone of the dirty rotten names that people call me on Instagram and Facebook, because every once in a while I troll things and I put like, I wouldn't do this in things that my friends are going to see, but like I troll a few things in the news and NBC News or whatever.
And you have seen the dumpster fires I've created. You've seen it.
Right. And I do that. And I've been called you old boomer. Like that's the new one.
Shut
the fuck up, you old boomer. I'm like, what? I'm not that old.
As opposed to a young boomer, right? Okay.
Right. I'm barely a boomer. I'm almost like I'm on the cusp, of the.
It's a rounding error.
I'm turning 60 in a week, so I'm like just a boomer,
60. I remember those days.
Hey, Bill, you remember Randy?
Yeah,
I do.
Exactly.
Are we close to the same age, Randy?
I'm 67.
Oh fuck no! Then
Oh,
like
shit.
What are you?
Part here by far.
What are you?
What?
I didn't hear. How old are you?
73.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, well, that's still in the zone. We're calling Dave. What about you?
70.
There you go.
Yeah, this is all. I mean, up there, he may be fooling himself that he's like 35, but we all know it's. To any hot 40-year-old, we are in the same bucket, fellas. So,
you know what's funny is funny in a tragic, weird way, but
funny how.
What's funny, you get 65, you get on Medicare. Okay, Medicare is generally awesome, and frankly,
unbelievable.
If the Republicans try to undo that, that is the tipping point for me. It's
Nobody's undoing that.
Bonfires. No. I'm going to the streets, and I don't care. I don't really
Take it
care.
to the streets. Yeah.
But what they don't give you is you don't get when you're on Medicare. You don't get an annual physical. They do not pay for that. Counterintuitively,
Right.
The only thing that fairly fit people of that age really give a shit about is an annual physical.
Right.
But they are still operating. Medicare still operates on a paradigm that when you're 65. You're kind of decrepit like my parents were. Like they weren't decrepit.
65, you're done. Yeah, right.
They were definitely
like
not, they weren't going to the gym today and doing 12 miles on the fucking bicycle.
Right.
Like they weren't doing that. So what has become the wellness exam, which if you want to make me nuts, just use those two words, like wellness exam.
Right.
It's basically a cognitive test. So they are making an assumption that you are 65, you are on Medicare, ergo you have slipped in like your cognitive abilities.
Right.
So they ask you, like the first thing out of the chute is like draw a clock.
Exactly.
They say draw a clock. And so I'm sorry, I was a graphic designer for 42 years. I say to them, what kind of a clock do you want? Do you want Big Ben?
I was going to say, do you just do like 12:30, like a digital clock, like 1, 2, 3, 0?
Or do you want
a
like
cuckoo clock with a bird,
And you have to do that. Then they give you 3 words that, they say, we're going to give you these 3 words, and we're going to ask you later in this, whatever the fuck it is, those 3 words. And,
it's like the Donald Trump test that he was bragging about. Chair,
I can't do that now.
I mean,
3 words.
But the whole thing is cognitive. It's like they say to you, do you live in a house or an apartment? And I say, I live in a house. And they're like, are there loose rugs in the house? And I go, yes. And they say, are there stairs in the house? And I go, yes. By the way, we've already established I live in a fucking house, okay?
Exactly.
There's doors and windows too, and a bathtub, and a whole bunch of other shit.
Oh, they want, is it a cape or a ranch? Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah, right. It's like, it's like a level.
But this is where we have to get to socialist Bernie, who everybody hated. Love Medicare, but eyes, ears, mouth, not covered. Fuck yourself.
Right.
And for decades, he's been arguing, shouldn't this be covered? Old people in particular, teeth, what I just went through, eyes, hearing.
Yeah.
No. Republicans are like,
I go
no.
for this thing, which is my annual wellness exam. I was actually expecting the doctor who I'd never had an exam from, who was a woman, and I was thinking, well, the prostate examination will be interesting because I've never done
action
this.
I've had in years. Oops, sorry. Go ahead.
No, but I mean, it's like I think to my wife, how many like gynecologists that she have, where you got some guy basically, putting a scapula there and having at it, and it's like, so I think I could gut it out if something like this.
Right.
No, none of that. Nothing. No hearing test. No vision test. No, nothing. It's like.
And if we may sit, and we'll close this out. Now this is definitely an old guy conversation. But something nobody ever asks. I've only had one physician. Tell me about your diet. What do you eat? What do you drink? What do you? No physician ever asks about your fucking diet, which is the most fundamental. I mean, if they asked, I have to aim this right. This guy. I mean, every time I see a fucking plate of bacon, sausage, eggs, you go for it, dude. You are.
You know what? You know,
they should ask us about our diet.
My trigger word is bacon. Like you say bacon, and suddenly, like
no, please. I'm not casting aspersions. Bacon, a bacon, egg, cheese from Dutch's. Oh,
but I do the keto thing, so bacon is totally allowed. Like I'm allowed.
Yeah,
to do that.
I get it.
I just can't have bread.
It's just mildly processed. It's just mildly processed.
I am on record that if I am ever convicted of the crimes I have committed, and I find myself, taking that long walk to Old Sparky, like my last meal is going to be breakfast. It's going to be scrambled eggs, bacon, hash browns,
straight ahead,
dry toast.
All of that. Yeah, I'm with you. There's nothing better.
Like here, have a steak.
It just doesn't go good with wine. But other than that,
I mean, it's like wine. Weird.
It's true. You got another song, Norman?
Make him play.
Song? Do one.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Talking to me. You're talking to me.
Can you still hear me? I hear you are singing the song of the past. I know that you know this may be the last. For many years, you gamble or give anything to be in with the better half. But how many friends must you have to begin with to make you laugh? Keyboard would be nice on this. Will you still have this song to sing when the razor boy comes and takes your fancy things away? Will you still be singing it on that cold and windy day? You know that the coming is so close at hand. You feel alright. I guess only women in cages can stand this kind of night. I guess only women in cages can play down the things they lose. You think no tomorrow will come when you lay down. You can't refuse. Will you still have the song to sing when the razor boy comes and takes your fancy things away? Will you still be singing it on that cold and wintry day? I guess only women in cages can tell the things they lose. You think no tomorrow will come when you lay down. You can't refuse. Will you still have the song to sing when the razor boy comes and takes your fancy things away? Will you still be singing it on that cold and wintry day?
All right.
You're a fucking master, man. That
Good stuff.
no, that cannot be an easy song to play, and you fucking bring. You're right. You're trying to fill in for keyboards and all sorts of shit on that thing. That was fucking great.
Yeah.
Well, I just feel like the first, thank you, but I feel like the sweet spot to me of Steely Dan is really the songs that they made that were not groove driven. You know, the songs that they made that were basically songs. You know, like they were songs in some sense of the traditional kind of thing. You know, there's a lot of stuff that's happened from Asia on. Their most popular period, you know, like Asia's most popular album.
Right.
But there's a lot of stuff on that thing that to me was slaving to really more of a groove than kind of the eccentricities of when they were just kind of singer-songwriter kind of, you know, like they did stuff on, you know, Katie Lied, Royal Scam.
Yeah. Well, what was that from? What's that from? Because I know that song, but I had that album, whatever it is.
So that is from their second album, I believe.
Is it Countdown?
That might be from Countdown to Ecstasy.
Whoa.
And is it? I don't know. It's almost cocktail-like because they have vibes or marimbas on that song.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a fucking killer. And then I don't know. I can't even recall where it happens. After you stop singing, there's like a 3-chord sequence, and the chords are almost noise. There's dance, but they somehow fit.
It's pedal steel. They go into, you know, they
no, the chords you hit. It's cool. I like it.
You know, like bam. You know, the great pedal steel on that.
Yeah.
Skunk Baxter was a really good pedal steel player. You know, kind of like Jerry Garcia. He never really got super credit for being a great pedal steel player, but he was, you know, or is.
He's one of those musicians. What couldn't he do? Because he's also on a midnight special with Linda Ronstadt, and he's playing congas. He's not playing guitar.
Right.
And he's wildly fucking playing congas.
And he went, you know, he went to Doobie Brothers,
you know,
because
he's also a defense
tour.
He's a defense munitions expert. He gets called into Congress to talk about other countries' munitions. And so he's a strange dude, but motherfucker. Again, back to the early midnight special appearances when he's trading off with who's the other guy? Elliot Randall? Who's the other guitarist? The guy who's kind of hefty, like the buttons on his shirt are like, we can't contest.
Well, there's Denny Diaz in Steely Dan. Denny Diaz was the kind he was the kind of the portly bebopper, you know. Yeah.
But there's one of Skunk. You can't even see his face through all the hair. He's playing Strat, and he's just killing. Great.
You know, a friend of mine, Mike Mugridge, had this band called Alley Rose, and they were fortunate enough. I was a bit of a fanboy, and they were fortunate enough to open for the Doobies in Springfield at you know, the auditorium or whatever it is. And they played there 2 nights in a row. So we went up there and we stayed. You know, we got a hotel. We were like, you know, we were in the hotel. We were getting put up and everything. Got to sit in a hotel room. I'm sitting between like Mike McDonald and Keith Knudsen, one of their drummers.
Wow, no shit.
You know, and it's like it was so freaking awesome. But Skunk played sitting down. Like he played kind of on a bar stool, kind of. Like that was his thing, you know. And I mean, he fucking played this. I mean, he is raw, man. He can do. He's so good. He can do stuff. But all those guys in those days, you know, all the guys that they hired in those days were amazing. You know, like they weren't, you know, they brought like a shitload of grit to what they were doing. You know, like it wasn't just theoretical Berklee School of Music, you know, freaking things. It was like they were fucking bringing some shit to it, you know. And
I only cover one of my bands. We only cover one Steely Dan song. Believe it or not, it's Cousin Dupree.
Cousin Dupree. Yeah.
Nobody, no recognition here.
We didn't hear you. Say it again.
I mean, because I was in that Steely Dan band, and you know, and
that's
I
really
actually,
cool.
I thought I'd get more of a reaction from it.
No, but it was a song that was when I was in this band, you know, which they're coming back.
Is this
out
thing on?
Yeah, there is an issue.
It was like two
Yeah,
by
you-
four.
You
Would
got a
you-
slow
Randy,
internet connection.
you're
That's all it
breaking
is.
up a lot, Randy.
All right.
You-
All right.
No, but I mean, I don't think that has anything to do with the Cousin Dupree recognition.
Right.
but-
No. Well, but part about Cousin Dupree that's funny. Linda hates it because it's basically about a guy who hasn't been his cousin for years, and she's blossomed, and all he can talk about is how it's the father. So it's she deems it to be creepy, which of course it is, but who cares? We don't
Well, I mean, to me, it was funny. I'm in this Steely Dan band, and it was equal measure of a lot of fun, and incredibly tough because I was the guitarist, and I just didn't feel I was worthy. You know, I could bring it on. certain
It's
things.
It's exacting stuff.
Well,
yeah,
it can be, you know, but if you're really good, it doesn't have to be. But I'm not that good.
I know. Yeah,
I'm not
well
that good.
put.
that I can
Yes,
take Gary Carlton's
someone
fucking
skilled,
solos
not
and do something
acting.
better with
Right.
them, you know. It's not like that. But Cousin Dupree was one of the songs that one of the band member, you know, I eventually bowed out, and they're a better band for it, honestly, because the guy who replaced me, you know, is much more slavish to the original stuff, and they got, you know, a few female singers, you know, there was a lot of stuff. You know, we got by in a little bit, but I'll tell you, we played one gig at the Horseshoe that was unbelievably good. But the thing with the whole thing was like I just couldn't, like, you know, I couldn't do, you know, what they want to do. And when they suggested like Cousin Dupree, I'm like, you can't go to Cousin Dupree in a Steely Dan band until you have covered a whole shitload of other songs.
Yeah, you got to do the hits. Yeah.
Well, not even the hits, but you know, you're gonna, because Cousin Dupree isn't a hit, and it's not even.
No.
It's not a deep cut because it's probably the closest thing to a commercial song on. Was that Two by Nature, Two If by Nature, or
I
something
have
like
no
that?
idea. No,
I think that's what the
I
album is.
just learned there's a live version of it with like 3 smoking hot backup chick singers, and
Yeah.
I was a slave to that version.
Yeah, but I mean, it's also too with you know, with Steely Dan, you know, there was a lot of humor when they were playing the dirty old man when they weren't dirty old
Right.
men. You know, to me, they reached a certain point where it's kind of like, you know what, this is a little too believable at this point. You know, like
You mean
know.
like everyone's gone to the movies?
But I mean,
Yeah.
when they did Everyone's Gone to the Movies, it felt like a character piece. You know, if they were to do that 20 years later, it's creepy.
Right.
Well, I mean, they had a lot of.
It was creepy back then.
Yeah. That's the only song. You know, it's really funny because they put out a, you know, essentially a greatest hits. Not greatest hits. It was essentially an anthology of all of their stuff, and that was the only song they included on it as a demo. And I'm sitting here
Really?
going like, famously, there are, you know, 30 guitarists who tried to put the solo down on Peg or, you know, something like that.
Yeah.
None of that shit is worthy of being on a box set of your stuff. It was like one take on it, and it was like Flo and Eddie from the Turtles, you know, were on the track, which I love them, you know, but it's kind of like, seriously, one track, that's it.
Yeah.
For
No, Bill, that's what a box set is made for, to throw all that
Yes.
shit on a spare disc, and yeah.
demos, weird radio cuts, stupid
Mhm.
live shit, you know, like whatever,
Yeah.
you know, like, you know, I don't know. It's all gone sour, hasn't it, boys?
No, I've said it on the show
I can
before.
can I bring a room to a silence? Yeah.
I love Steely Dan. I love Steely. I've
Me too.
always
Me
loved
too.
Steely Dan, but I don't like playing Steely Dan because
You don't.
no. And here's the reason. The reason is that you have to do it exactly like the Steely Dan does it. You can't just do your own interpretation of a Steely Dan song. You know what I mean? Well, okay, but I mean, like you could do it wrong, or you could do it the way they do it. And the
Yeah.
people on the record, they go through 40 people till they find the guy that does his lick just the way they like it. But it's his
I'll
lick,
just
not
say,
your lick.
as a keyboard player, I would think you would love to. It's so keyboard heavy. I would think you would love it.
It is, but you have to play. You're basically. It's like a Woody Allen's line. Like that's not writing. It's typing. It's like you have to exactly play what they want. Like I want to stretch out a little.
I happen to have Donald Fagen here, and you know nothing about my playing. Yeah.
Marshall McLuhan.
Yeah,
But that to me is like, that's where they went wrong. Like earlier on, literally to me, from up until Royal Scam, they operated as pretty much kind of a traditional band. Yes, they were no longer touring, and yes, hello, the Beatles. They were no longer touring, and they were, they would bring in certain musicians. Hello, the Beatles. They were doing it like that, but they weren't trying to create a drum machine that was going to replace, Rick Marotta, Bernard Purdy,
Steve Gadd,
and fucking Jeff Porcaro. Like they went off the fucking edge, man. They went beyond.
They were OCD. They were and I may have mentioned this to you. You of all people would love this. There's a YouTube of Paul Schaefer interviewing Donald Fagen.
Oh yeah,
deeply going through all the shit. I think you would enjoy. I loved it.
I think I've seen it actually.
It's very.
I'll watch that.
Yeah, but they were kind of snobbies.
Yeah.
They
think?
They perceived themselves as jazz players, but they were not jazz players. Having Wayne Shorter do the fade out in a song doesn't make you a jazz band.
That's correct.
It's like they would affect certain things. They had interesting chords, all of that stuff. But when you're in a Steely Dan band, you sit there and you realize that so many of these songs had changes that just seemed to be fucking changes for the sake of changes.
For the sake of doing it, yes.
Yeah.
I played in a band and the drummer.
Cousin Debris has that. I had to go over it like 16 times. Like, what? Why? We could have just had a smooth transition here.
Right. I
super highway, this bright familiar sun. I guess that I'm the lucky one.
There you go.
That's a great song.
I
wrote this tired sea song, set on this peaceful shore. You think I've heard this one before? Well, the danger on the rocks is surely past.
Yeah.
Still, I remain tied to the mast. Could it be that I have found this home at last? Home at last. I mean, it's a fucking great
Shuffle.
song.
That's the shit. It reminds me of Only a Fool would say that.
Oh.
He knows it. He's a fucking jukebox.
A man got fun, sad son. Only a fool would say that. A man with a plan, not a man, wearing his white Stetson hat.
Look at him.
Talking about a world where all is fun, just fun. Only a fool would say that. Only a fool would say that. Only a fool would say that.
There you go.
Stick at the ending. Stick the
like
ending.
Put another quarter in his ass. Let's see.
Now, Ed, on your
What?
birthday, we can't do a little Steely Dan, just a little bit.
Once again, first of all, that's not my band, right? Like I'm the guest, so
I hear you, man.
I don't know. Dave Rouse on the gig. It's Christine Cook is singing, and it's Rory Gordon, who's a fantastic player.
He is.
And
It's a
Todd
fun
Joyner.
band. They're a really fun band.
So yeah, again, it's not a band that I could like boss people around.
Yeah, it's not an open mic.
Right.
If I come, I'm coming to see you guys in the band. It's not an open
Right.
mic. Yeah.
We might be able to twist some arms, but we'll see.
It's their gig.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, that's really good stuff. I mean, I told you I played in a band. We did a bunch of Steely Dan tunes in the band, and at one point in the rehearsal, the drummer didn't want to embarrass me, and he leans over and he goes, "On that, it was Peg. We're learning Peg, right?"
Oh boy.
And he goes, "On that chord at the end of the 30-second measure, whatever it was, right?" He says, "Do you play the dominant 7 on the top or the bottom?" And I said, the dominant, I'm like, I don't understand the question, right?
Yeah.
And then I thought, wait, I can decode this. So I was like, I got the keyboard out and I was like, okay, I play this because I'm kind of an ear player. I can you could play a chord and I could play the chord, but I don't know what I'm doing. I just play the chord, right? It's like a Rain Man response. And so I played it and I went, well, there's the root and there's the 5 and there's the minor 3rd and there's the 7 and a dominant 7. Oh, I said I played on the top, meaning on my pinky, not my thumb, right? And he went, it's supposed to be on the bottom. This is a drummer, right?
And this is a drummer.
The bottom. It's a drummer, it's not even a musician.
Hey,
no.
Hey.
So
and
anyway,
that's where the fun comes out.
Hey, what do you say?
Dave, fighting words, Dave.
I know.
And you know what happened? I played the chord the way he said, and it was like, oh, shit, that's why it doesn't sound right when I play it. Like, damn, he nailed it. But that's
I hate when I get corrected and people are right.
Right.
Like, you know Kim Manning from the Girls.
Yeah.
We were doing some song. I think it was What's So Funny About Peace, Love, and Understanding. There's a walk up at some part, and she's like, Randy, you're playing one wrong note. I'm like, what do you play wrong?
How dare you?
Yeah, how dare you? And she sang the progression, perfect pitch, note for note. And I played along with her, and she was right. I was like, "Thank you." Okay, you're right.
Yeah, I did that after I did 300 shows with the Blues Patrol, and they go, messing with the kid. It goes da 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 da, right? And they go, the low note is the A, not the B flat. And I'm like, no, it's not. I played it. You guys have
played
been playing
it 300
that
times the wrong way. Yeah.
Exactly. And I'm like, oh, I'm the one playing it wrong. Got it. Shit. It's just bad. Where'd Bill Lover go?
Yeah,
what happened? He collapsed. He vanished into the darkness.
It might be an old man prostate thing. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
What are you, like psychic or something?
Nothing, honey.
Too wild. All right, I'm going to play something. I'm going to be annoying now. I'm going to completely reset the mood, right? I'm going to play something. I don't know if I'm going to play the whole thing. I wrote something yesterday I heard something funny on YouTube, and I sampled it, and I made this song. So watch this.
Madam, I heard you are a flight attendant. Madam, I heard you are a flight attendant.
No.
Madam, I heard you are a flight attendant. Madam, I heard you are a flight attendant.
No.
Should I just press the button?
No.
Should I press?
No.
Should I
no.
Press the button?
No.
Madam, I heard you are a flight attendant. Should I just press the button?
No.
press the button.
No, I'm not going to wait you to watch the whole thing. that's the kind of
It's
nonsense
got a
I'm
good
doing.
groove. I like the groove.
Yeah,
Yeah, kind of a cool groove. Yeah, it was actually like this comedy routine about this guy, and he was interviewing this woman. He said, "I heard you're a flight attendant. If I want to talk to you, should I just push the button?" You know.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay.
That's all that is.
'Cause
Right?
it-
I thought
yeah,
that was funny.
Who is that?
I was going to name that. You should name that track "Call Center Boogie."
There you go.
The sample of the voice. What is that from?
It was like I saw it on like a reel on YouTube or on Instagram or whatever it was, and it was it was funny as shit. I was laughing my ass off, but it was like it's an Indian guy interviewing this
Right.
pretty woman who's obviously
Sounds like call center.
a flight attendant. No, he's interviewing her live, right? And
Well-
he says, I need advice on how to talk to flight attendants if I want to pick up the flight attendant. And he says, should I just push the button? Like, should I push the button? Right? And she goes, no. You should not push the button, right? That's all I included from her was no. But yeah, that's
a good groove. I like the bass groove. It was cool.
Yeah, what I kind of like about it is it's like keep easy music production. You can just make the groove and then you do something fun with it and whatever, and then you move on to the next thing. It's not like I'm writing a song for the ages. I'm writing a song for Tuesday night. That's what I'm doing.
If you threw that on loud on the PA, people would dance to that.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
Exactly. So that's the plan. Oh, you want to do one more, Bill Norman?
Okay, I'll do one more.
Night.
A Warren Zevon song that I haven't.
All right.
That's very enthusiastic.
I can saw a woman in two, but you wouldn't want to look in the box when I'm through. I can make love disappear. For my next trick, I need a volunteer. I can pull a rabbit out of a hat. I can pull it out, but I can't pull it back. I can make love disappear. For my next trick, I need a volunteer. Step right up. For my next trick, I need a volunteer. Well, it's lonely up here, and the tricks have been played, and the spotlight is faded, and the plans that we made have fallen apart. It's lonely as hell. There's no magic spell for a broken heart. Put me in chains and I will escape, but better not wait up, 'cause I might be late. I can make love disappear. For my next trick, I'll need a volunteer. Step right up. My next trick, I need a volunteer. For my next trick, I need a volunteer. Well, it's lonely up top when the tricks have been played. The spotlight is faded. The plans that we made have fallen apart. It's lonely as hell. There's no magic spell for a broken heart. I can saw a woman in two, but you won't want to look at the box when I'm through. I can make love disappear. For my next trick, I need a volunteer. For my next trick, I need a volunteer. Step right up. My next trick, I need
Yeah.
All right.
That's great.
Beautiful.
That's a great
Good
set of
stuff.
lyrics. That's some clever lyrics.
Love.
he's a funny fucking guy. He was a funny guy.
That's really good. All right, you guys. That's it for Sham TV tonight. We're all going to Randy's gig on Saturday night at the
Saturday
Castle
night,
in,
Castle on Black Rock, and then
That's on Black
March
Rock.
1st, Tower in Stamford. March
Wait, I'm doing
2nd
that.
At what?
That's my gig.
That's what I'm saying. I'm listing all the gigs for you. And then March 2nd, the girls at
March
Joey
2nd.
C's.
There it is.
And Joey C's.
Joey C's. Hey, right here, right now.
Right
bunch
here
of
on
girls.
our show, we have Topo
A bunch of
Gigio,
girls are going to shake their booties.
Peter
Oh,
Gennaro
my
and
God.
his Broadway dancers,
That's right.
Wayne and Schuster.
And Topo Gigio.
Yeah, exactly.
Phenomenal. All right, great to see you guys. I'll see you
All
at
right.
your various shows.
See you, boys.
That was quite a show. We're out of dropping.
Yeah, taking a stand.
Oh, wow. That was something else. Wait a minute. Hold on. I'll get you something.